Biden to raise capital gains tax to the highest in the world? Oh, but will it stop there? Hello, this is ChartGPT today. Well, yes, this is kind of the news came out the last week here that Biden has submitted his 2025 budgetary proposals, and he's hoping to generate $4.3 trillion in new taxes over the next decade, primarily from new business taxes and taxing high-income people. I guess he wants the billionaire tax. Most of it's coming from those folks, a few other bits and pieces, and a few giveaways to buy some votes there. So what does it look like here on a trend basis? Here you can see since what's that about? Since 1920, you can see where it's been going. Under the Carter years, it was one of the highest level, and now we're back to the Carter years and more. So Biden is maybe that's his stake in the ground. Maybe he'll take less once we get into negotiations, but nevertheless, that's quite a huge tax bite. And a lot of money being spent. Of course, some people feel that, well, if you tax the businesses, they'll just pass it on at higher prices. That could be quite inflationary. Here's where the U.S. sits in compared to the rest of the world. Under the current plan, which is around 29.2%, when going to 48.6% would make us the highest in the world. And, you know, we'd be up there higher than Denmark, Chile, Finland, France even. We'll be more socialist than France. Who could have thought of that? There are some countries out there that have zero. Belgium, Korea, Luxembourg, New Zealand, Switzerland, you know, those countries are enjoying no capital gains. So that the question is, will it stop there? Well, there is talk, and there's cases coming up, and that's the unrealized capital gains. That's the granddaddy tax the rich. It's kind of a one-shot deal, because once you valuation, basically the unrealized gains taxes. There's an example: you buy something for $1,000. As they use Bitcoin. 1,000 for Bitcoin, the value of it rises to 1,500, and you hold it, but then after the year you have a $500 unrealized gain, and that would be taxable even though you haven't sold it. Of course, today you only have to pay it until you sell, right? So when you look at the chart here, there's about 55% of capital gains today are unrealized capital gains, and that goes into the trillions. I think there's an estimate out there between $8 and $12 trillion, and so if you tax that at 47%, you can get a lot of money. So would that be about 4 or 5 trillion in new taxes? Oh dear. What's your solutions to pay? Well, you can pay it out of your savings if you have the money. You could force to sell the asset, or borrow the money. So those are some solutions, but that's going to be devastating on the economy. It's going to change. It's kind of talk about the Great Reset. That would be a huge reset. What's the likelihood of this happening? You say, they'd never do this. This would be disastrous. They're already complaining about the capital gains tax at 40 some odd percent. Well, there's a case, Moore versus United States. It's going to be decided, I think, in June. It's headed to the Supreme Court, and some people say this unconstitutional, so they're going to rule on that. And if they can get that passed, this makes it a possibility, because they want to make a test case in there. So that's going to happen this June. So pay attention to that. I suspect a lot of money will be flying out of the country if this thing goes the wrong way. So just be aware of that. So what about the taxes? You know, they always say that, you know, just because you raise taxes doesn't mean you increase revenue. There's this Laffer curve. There's a maximum point. You know, you can charge so much, and it gets to the point where nobody will buy it. So if in fact you raise taxes this high, money will flee until you'll never collect it. So that's what this curve is all about. What do Americans think? Well, you know, so much for conservatives. Some are actually saying tax the billionaires as well. Obviously, the liberals are saying yes, tax them, but you can see that's up there over 80%. But even conservatives are around 50%. Moderates are up there around 70%. So the people are ready for these huge tax increases on the rich because they think that they won't be hurt. Well, believe it or not, they will be. They'll end up paying a lot of it themselves. So beware that this is coming. So we asked the AI, can America tax its way back to prosperity? Take our online poll as well and answer that same question. Can America's tax its way to prosperity? And in the meantime, don't forget to subscribe.